I want to unleash my quote of the month. And before I do that, I'll just give you a brief charge on what I title, Let's Talk 2025. Let's talk. Let's just talk. Time to talk now. There are 3 key things I want us to talk about 2025. If you want 2025 to benefit you, you want 2025 to not to be a waste, then we have to talk about it. All right, media, can I have my slide, please? Number 1, 3 things. Have a growth and personal development plan. Media, can I have my slides, please? Have a growth and personal development plan. In Luke chapter 1, verse 80, and the child grew and waxed strong in spirit and was in the desert till the day of his showing unto Israel. Jesus grew. Luke 2, verse 40, and the child grew and waxed strong in spirit, filled with wisdom, and the grace of God was upon him. Jesus grew. John the Baptist grew. Are you going to grow? This year, determine in your heart that I am going to grow. And I'm going to mention a few areas where you need to grow in. Number 1, grow out of your personal weaknesses. The time has passed when you should be celebrating your weaknesses. In this motto, you say, it's my weakness. It's my weakness. Listen, personal weaknesses can shut doors that God opens for you. Recently, I was teaching some young people. I tell them, weaknesses you didn't deal with while you were single. When you carry them over into marriage, it will shock you. That will be the weak link through Satan will attack your marriage. You know, there are a lot of careless attitudes that a lot of young people don't think about. They don't tackle them as singles. One of them is forgetfulness. One of them is carelessness with your phones. You miss your calls. There are some people, some of you right now, you are synonymous with missing of calls. If someone calls you and you pick, they'll be surprised. It will shock them, say you pick your call. I tell you the truth. There are people like that now. Anytime you want to call them, you say, I know say you no go pick, but make I just try. You won't know what that weakness can cost you now until you get married. And then there's be a strategic moment when maybe your husband or your wife needed you for something, they were away, they were putting the call across, and you're disappointed. You're not there. You see the kind of pressure that weaknesses can put on marriage. Hebrews 12 verse 1 says, wherefore seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. Some of these weaknesses are weights. The time some of you spend on social media is a weight. It's draining your youthful years, draining your energy. By now, I have this advice I give young people. I say the amount of time you spend on the internet should pay for your data. So if I am online, I should be doing business or selling something that will pay me back for my data. So if your data is not being paid for by the amount of time you spend on the internet, you're wasting your life. Every time you spend on the internet, you should be adding something meaningful and valuable to your life. Number 2, grow out of knowledge gaps. This is not the era where you say, I don't know. I don't know is not an excuse in this era, because you are just a click away from knowing whatever you want to know in this life. Now, we just give you an opportunity to go and learn handwork. See, we don't want you to go and become a local champion. Beyond what they'll be teaching you in that entrepreneurship school, if I were you, I will still go online and browse ahead of my teacher before I come to class. Be ahead of your teacher is not a sin. The era of I don't know does not exist again. Your generation will not forgive you for saying I didn't know, because knowledge abounds everywhere now. You'll be spending time on the internet, yet you're not acquiring knowledge. Learn, study in the direction of your potential. That's the generation we are now. Study in the direction of your potential. Fill up knowledge gaps this year. Read. If you cannot read ebooks, then get audio books. But by all means, be acquiring knowledge. Study the Bible and study books, and then listen to messages and watch YouTube videos in the line of your potential. Close knowledge gaps. The people that came to rap, people that came to dance, whatever function you carried out here today, you can do it better. All right? Don't stop at where you are now. Close knowledge. There's a way you can package yourself and do whatever you've been doing before better. And you will reach a higher audience. You will appeal to a higher audience. Because listen to me. No matter the potential, the talent you have, the height of your talent and potential is when kings send for you to come and deliver. If your skill and potential a king has not placed demand on it yet, don't settle down. There's still a long way to go. There are knowledge gaps. Right? It's when the king sends for you that you know you have reached somewhere in your talent and potential. Until the king sends for me, I'll keep building myself. I'm preparing myself for the day the king will send for me. So that on the day the king wanted somebody to come and play harp, he said they should get the most skillful in the land. He said, who is the most skillful harpist in this land? And they said there's one son of Jesse. That means for him, David kept closing out the knowledge gaps in playing the harp. And when they wanted to mention the first 3 people that played that instrument in the land of Israel, he was among. If you have not attained the first 10 people in your area of skill, if you are not among the first 10 when they are calling names, don't stop learning. You're a photographer, and when they are calling 10 photographers in this time, they're not mentioning your name. Then keep studying, keep learning. You're a music minister. When they are mentioning top 10 music ministers in this Makodi, your name is not there. You're a book author. Nobody's mentioning you among the top 10. Don't stop studying. Keep closing. Keep studying. There are a lot of knowledge gaps there. Isaiah 60 verse 1 and 3 talks about when light comes, you will shine. When light comes, you will shine. Knowledge brings light. The degree to which you are shining now is directly proportional to how much light you have. When you have more light, you will shine more. Then, third area you need to grow in. Grow your people management skills. Grow your people management skills. Master apology. Luke 6:31 says, as you want men to do unto you, do so even unto them. 1 Peter 2:17, honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the king. Listen. I've told us here before. They now have a lot of young people today who are just joining us in Youth Connect. A man of God told us many years ago that about 75% of what God will do in your life will come through men. Even Jesus Christ needed a man to introduce his ministry to Israel. If you don't know how to build human relationships, you will suffer in this life. See, you know what? Plenty of you right now, the limitations you have, there is a man that already has the answer. But your inability to build a relationship with that man has kept you in that pit of limitation. That man at the pool of Bethesda said, I have no man. He was there for that long because he had no man. When you don't have the skill, the wherewithal to build human relationships, that will always be your story. All your mates have left you behind. They say, why are you here? You say, I have no man. And you will never have a man when you don't know how to build a relationship with men. And like I used to ask my people, I'm asking you again. Is there any relationship in your life that's lasted up to 10 years? Check your life right now. Do you have any friend that you have kept in your life? You service that friendship and you are 10 years old in that friendship now. Either same sex or opposite sex. You have such, I'm not talking about romantic relationship. A friend, maybe from secondary school, from primary school, a former neighbor somewhere, and people have kept in touch for 10 years. If you don't have, you fall into this category. You are poor in human relations. And you know what? The poorest people on earth are not those who lack money. The poorest people on earth are those who lack people. You may not have money, but if you have people, people will bring the money. So grow in human relationships. And one of the ways to grow in human relationships is to master apologizing. Oh, one of the things I've discovered with this generation, to apologize, they tire us. He had young people to apologize. He had. When you come late for a meeting, the moment you have an opportunity to talk, first apologize for coming late for that meeting. Your boss quarrels you over something you didn't do right. Before explaining yourself, apologize. Your boss quarrels you for something you didn't do. Before you explain and tell your whole side of the story, apologize. At least that is angry, apologize. Then you can start explaining yourself. Apology calms the nerves of the offended. Apology is hard for people these days, oh. And it's a major reason why marriages are collapsing now. Husband will offend wife. He can't say sorry. I'm sorry. Wife will offend children. She can't say I'm sorry. An apology is not just from up, down, up. A pastor should be able to apologize to his member that he has offended. You gave a member appointment that you're coming to visit, and then you couldn't make it. By the next day, reach out and apologize, because it's possible they went to kill chicken waiting for you. For that kind of inconvenience, a pastor should apologize to his members for not keeping to his words. Oh, look. When you finish this meeting, go and check your life. When was the last time you apologized to somebody? Some of you are owing some people apology right now as I seated here. As soon as you leave here, the Bible says, don't owe anybody anything except to love. Go and call that person or hit that phone and chat up that person with an apology. I'm so sorry. I should have done this many years ago, but I've delayed. I just heard today that I should do this now. When somebody dies, people are shouting, hey, I wish if I knew she was going to die, I would have been celebrating her more. If I knew she was going to die, I would have taken her out to Dexter's. If I knew she was going to die. Whatever you need to do to anybody, please do it to the person now. I have the opportunity to. The person may not be alive for the next 1 week. If you are not in talking terms with your family members, you have a fractured relationship with your parents as a young person. Please, after this meeting, go and reach out. Nothing like family. The whole world can throw you away, but family will always be there for you. Some of you have fractured relationship with your parents. Fractured relationship with siblings. See the way the family of this, my admin, came out to celebrate it out today. Some of you don't have anybody from your family that can identify with you like that. Both when it is good for you and when it is bad. Apology is the reason why some ladies are not yet married in their 30s and 40s. Small thing that somebody wanted to take you out to go and propose to you. You came 45 minutes late. You didn't apologize. Say, no, that's not supposed to be now. We're supposed to pepper them small. Maybe they wait for us. You have peppered him until you peppered him out of your life. Now there's no man. You have no man to marry yet thee. The fourth area you need to grow. Add another layer in your walk with God. Isaiah 28 verse 10 says, for precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little and here a little. Increase the number of Bible chapters you read. Increase the number of hours you pray. Increase the number of books you read. Increase the number of hours you worship God. Give yourself a target of how many souls you want to win for God. Increase your relationship with God this year. Make it a target. And then secondly, the second thing, aspect of 2025 is get a discipler and a mentor. Get a discipler and mentors. This one is also lacking in this generation. In Galatians 4 verses 1 to 2, it says, now I say that the heir, as long as he's a child, is not different from a servant, though he be Lord of all, but is under tutors and governors until the time appointed of the Father. God has a lot of things for you now, but he has ordained that you are too young to handle them now. So millions of naira, you are too young to handle them now. God wants you to go and learn under somebody. Then when you are more mature to handle that next level, then God will release it to your hands. That's how the system is structured. Some things right now, you are not qualified to handle them because you have not proven loyalty and accountability under service, under a man. So God cannot trust you with some dimensions of his resources right now, whether spiritual or financial. But what discipleship does and what mentorship does is that when a man has sat upon you and raised you and transferred some of his kingdom values to you and convictions to you, God can now trust you with some of his resources. There are some pastors right now, God cannot trust them with some of his daughters to disciple. Because it has not been proven that they've conquered lust and immorality. When you go and submit under a man who doesn't have a problem with that, and then it is confirmed 5 years, 10 years, the man can vouch for you, then God can move you to another level. So if you are just living your life, you don't have anybody that you're accountable with, no spiritual cover. You travel anytime, come back anytime, enter a relationship anytime, come out again, enter another one again, start business, come out of the business. Nobody's aware. Nobody prays for you before you take those decisions. You will not enjoy 2025. You won't enjoy 2025. You won't enjoy 2025. In Luke 22, verses 31 to 32, it says, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan had desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for you, that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. Now, God could have just asked, release strength to the other disciples. But he said no. He picked one man called Simon. He just prayed for him, and then gave him strength to overcome his own temptation. And then he now made him a system of reference for the remaining. He said the rest of them, if they want this kind of strength, they should not come to me directly. They will meet Simon. Simon has already received a dose of my grace that can sustain them, that can be transferred to them. That's how discipleship is. For every weakness you have today, there is a particular man or woman that has conquered that weakness, has become an embodiment of reference in that area. So what discipleship does, the moment you align and submit to that person, that weakness ceases to be a prayer point. You just tap the man's grace and it becomes his strength. This is what you are missing when you're not under a discipleship cover. As I am now, there are many things in my life that I'm not praying about again because I'm submitting to Apostle Romeo side. The things that have flowed to me from my Father in the Lord, my discipleship cover, by my physical strength, it might have taken additional 5 years to be where I am. Where I am today now. Some of the things I enjoy now. Discipleship will shift you to a level whereby your physical efforts will take additional 5 years. The prodigal son thought he was wasting when he was under his father in the house, only to realize that it was when he went out that he really started wasting. If anybody ever convinced you that being under authority, being under discipleship is a waste, then step out. Go and hear the stories of those who don't have anybody discipling them. They are the true people who are wasting and feeling the yoke. And then finally, third thing, combat entitlement mentality. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. What is entitlement mentality? That thing that makes young people sit down and say, everybody should be doing things for me. You don't do things for people. You stay at home and then be quarreling people that they don't come to visit you. You don't visit people. And somebody greets you. You met a friend on the road, they greet you. Your response will be, you don't throw away me, ba. Somebody wrote on Facebook, say, you don't throw away me, ba, no be greeting, no be answer to greeting. Say, receive sense. How can you be quarreling everybody, they don't throw away you? You don't throw away people. If you didn't throw away people, how come you are noticing that they don't throw away you? You throw away yourself too. If they're not reaching you, you want to reach out. When was the last time you loaded your phone and said, today I just want to make calls and reach out to old friends? When was the last time you did that? You don't just be quarreling people that they've thrown you away. Say, because you don't marry now, you don't throw away those of us your friends, so they're single. But that's over. That's over. At this point, I want to introduce my quote of the month. Because nobody owes you anything in this life. Oh. Even God doesn't owe you anything again. He has given you his best, which is Jesus Christ. So if he doesn't do anything for you again, don't quarrel God. Quote of the month. This is my media team as well. Oh. Convince yourself that nobody is under obligation to, number one, call you. Number two, visit you. And number three, give you money. You will live more stresslessly in this life if you convince yourself that no one is under obligation to call you, visit you, and give you money. Don't be quarreling people up and now. Uncle, you promised me money for my birthday. The birthday don't pass now. I don't hear from you. Now so we go the day. Now like this we go the day. And there's some ladies, the moment a guy steps into their life and says he wants to marry them, the guy don't buy markets. All recharge card budget is on him. They are not good with calls. If you ask them, they'll say, and you don't used to send me the recharge card. And when the guy manages to send the recharge card, you will send a text back and say, thanks. Everybody should be doing this for you. You are not doing this for anybody. May the Lord have mercy on you.